Hey there! Welcome to Product Marketing Genius. I'm your host, Nitin Karthik. As Director of Product Marketing and a top product marketing voice, I've always found that real world case studies are the true litmus test when it comes to the effectiveness of any product marketing strategy. And that is why, on this show, we dive into the minds of industry titans as well as rising stars, unpacking their expertise in action packed episodes that showcase the power of product marketing through real world case studies. And my friends, today we are joined by product marketing genius Aneri Shah, who is head of B2B marketing at Ethos. Aneri is a top 100 product marketing mentor and has been coaching for over 10 years, working with a variety of clients across industries and functions, specializing in product management, marketing, and customer success. Aneri has held marketing leadership roles at WhatsApp, Facebook, Microsoft, Glassdoor, and Clever. With a dual degree in business administration and economics from UC Berkeley, Aneri received the Haas Undergraduate Scholarship, as well as the University of California Leadership Award. She has spoken publicly at a range of career related events, including the Ad World Conference, Product Marketing Summit, Pragmatic Marketing Institute events, and many more. Aneri is a recipient of the President's Gold Volunteer Service Award and has written for publications including Quartz and the Huffington Post. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Aneri. It's an absolute honor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Nathan.
Yes. And Aneri, I think today we're going to have a really good discussion. We're going to talk about a case study from your vast experience. And Aneri, we'll use the ABC framework. So the antecedents, or what were the challenges prior, the behaviors, or what were some of the actions that you took, and the conclusion, how things played out. So with that, Aneri, let's start with the antecedents. Pick a situation from your experience and tell us what were the prior challenges.
Absolutely. I can talk about my time at WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is the largest messaging app in the world, very widely used across the majority of countries, actually, except the US. And WhatsApp was acquired by Meta in 2014 for a large sum of money, but struggled with monetization and specifically finding a way to monetize that was consistent with its principles. The founders of WhatsApp grew up in countries that had cultures of surveillance, and they wanted to make sure that privacy was first and foremost as they thought about monetization. So WhatsApp has a really strong culture of being end-to-end encrypted, and they specifically wanted to ensure that they didn't sell ads so that users didn't feel that their privacy in their personal communications was interrupted. And so the real challenge here was how to monetize WhatsApp in a way that is consistent with these privacy principles. As a result of that, we focused on evaluating solutions that would be, alternatives to monetize that generated user value and felt really consistent with WhatsApp's principles.
Excellent. In fact, Aneri, I'm a huge user of WhatsApp. And I too wonder, man, how are these guys making money? Because they're not charging me anything. So I think that's really setting the stage very well. A lot of our users will relate to that. And many products actually struggle with this, right? Like it's a hit product, but how do you monetize it? So wonderful. So Aneri, we've talked about the antecedents. Let's talk about some of the behavior. So tell us some of the actions that you took to help with this.
Yeah, so some of the actions that we took to solve this challenge were to understand what are the other ways we can monetize and what are some nascent behaviors that we're seeing on WhatsApp that could be a route to monetization. So through some really deep user research, we found that a lot of people were using WhatsApp, which is a consumer product, for business use cases. And so what that means is everyone from small businesses such as an independent coffee shop or a home cleaner or a service provider like a florist. They were using WhatsApp to communicate with their customers, as well as across larger companies, like a lot of banks with private bankers or multinationals were attempting to use WhatsApp. And this was really due to wanting to meet the customer where they are and engage with them in the channel that they're checking most. And so as a result of that, we decided to invest in the WhatsApp Business API, which is a way for businesses of all sizes to communicate with their customers at scale. Um, and we really separated our business products into two types of products. So we had the WhatsApp Business app for a really small business that is using an app and messaging, right? So let's say I'm a florist and I want to message my customers on WhatsApp rather than doing so from my personal account where I have all my conversations with my friends and family and everything personal related. Let's give them a business profile that they can create. So it's very similar to the WhatsApp consumer experience, but a separate app they can use with a separate number and has some value added functionalities like the ability to have auto respond messages, set your kind of working hours so people know when you're available, add some information such as a catalog about your business. And so that's for the really small businesses. For medium to larger businesses, let's say you are United Airlines and you want to communicate with your customers. You're not going to have a series of individuals on phones doing that. You need a more programmatic solution like an API. And so we built out the WhatsApp Business API for these larger businesses to be able to message with their customers at scale and integrate into their existing technology stack. So they could use it alongside their customer service software, marketing software, plug it into whatever they're already using so that WhatsApp could be an additional channel for all of their messaging activities.
Fabulous. I love how, Aneri, you mentioned that you kind of started with the product you already have, that consumer product, and essentially transition that over to the business side. Fabulous way to essentially open a new channel, a new monetizing opportunity. Wonderful. So we've talked about some of the actions. Aneri, tell us the conclusion, like how did this play out? How was this received by the business community? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. This was, definitely a large challenge to try and solve. It's technically complex. It's very different to building a consumer product. And so there were a lot of the things that the team had to do to make sure that this was going to be a successful use case. But now, a couple of years down the line, it is an extremely successful product. It is used throughout the world. I personally use it a ton when I travel. I'll use it to communicate with airlines during COVID when you needed to get COVID test to re-enter the country. The company that did the COVID test that I was in Mexico and used that service, and so it's really validating to see a product that you've worked on really used in the wild. So it's very, very successful, and business messaging is now a core part of Meta's overall monetization strategy. So seeing it become even more strategically important to not just WhatsApp, but Meta overall.
Absolutely wonderful. Like you mentioned, seeing our own products being used and maybe becoming a user of our own products in the real world, not like for testing, but actually, like you said, for COVID, a very serious situation. Wonderful, wonderful. I can only imagine how proud and how rewarding that must have been. Fantastic. So, Aneri, you've told us about the situation and the behaviors and the conclusion. That's fabulous. I think our audience took away a lot from that. Tell us, Aneri, if people wanted to learn more about you, where can they find you and where can they learn what's next?
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Always happy to chat with other product marketers and would love to hear from you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there you have it, folks. A great lesson from Aneri in terms of exploring new markets, new customer segments, and how to monetize your products. Armed with that knowledge, my friends, let's make the magic happen.